been a minute since I've uploaded anything. In my defense, I don't really have a defense. I just haven't really felt the urge to record anything. My life is pretty monotone, pretty regular. But, you know, like I said, I don't know the last video I uploaded was, but really, I just need to do this for me, for fun, and for the documentation process. What have I been up to lately? Nothing. I have not been working towards any of my goals. I've been honestly very lazy, but we're all to get back on our Zoom. Do the kids still say that? I don't know. I don't really have kids in my life. So anyway, I'm gonna get back onto my fitness grind, my creativity grind, my social grind, all of that, all of the journeys. We're getting back to it because my life is a little boring and I'm kind of over it. But for today, we're working on the health and fitness, which has not been great, but my body has been hurting really bad, and I know it has to do with having all this extra weight on my body. Cause like, you know how like pregnant women will like hold up their bellies to relieve the back pain? That's what I do, but I'm not pregnant. It's just fat. So I lift the fat sometimes because it's just weighing on my back. I already have a back injury, so I need to get all this extra weight off so I can feel some relief. So I did grocery shopping to Aldi and Kroger, my usual places. So let me show you what I got. I think I spent about $90, and that's for me as one person. So from Kroger, it's really just supplemental stuff that I get. I do the bulk of my shopping at Aldi, but from Kroger, I got these Outshine no sugar added popsicles. I need to get those in the freezer kind of immediately. Again, it's that time of the month, so I got some period relief, and I got these salad toppers that are dried cranberries and roasted pecans, pecans, whatever you say it, or however you say it, and then creamy basil pesto. And then I filled up my 4-gallon water jug that goes into my water cooler, and that was $23.45. That and 4 gallons of water. Yeah. So I don't do all my grocery shopping at Kroger. So then from Aldi, where I get all the rest of my real groceries, first I have these habanero jack cheese sticks. Got some mini cucumbers, some spinach, cherry tomatoes. I have this tricolor 3-cheese tortellini, romaine lettuce, almond milk, non-fat Greek yogurt. This is just the plain. Raw peeled shrimp. This one is already peeled and deveined, but this one isn't pre-cooked like the ones that have the tail and stuff on. But I figure I'd rather spend the time cooking it than having to devein and take off the tail and everything. I got 0.8 pounds of Atlantic salmon, 1.6 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and then I have some ground turkey. Just got some 100% whole wheat bread, fudge stripe cookies, whole wheat spaghetti, cheese and garlic croutons, coconut jasmine rice, and then I also have cilantro lime rice. Got a pink Himalayan salt grinder. I usually get my pink Himalayan salt from TJ Maxx, but I forgot last time I went, so I just got that. I have cranberry nut trail mix. It's got peanuts, cranberries, and almonds in it. Turkey pepperoni, 4 cheese Alfredo sauce, protein pancake mix. I have this 0 sugar hydration. This is raspberry melon. And then I got 2 peaches. So that's Aldi. And at Aldi I spent $69.39, which I feel like is a lot, but I also got a lot of stuff. So this one feels more worth it than Kroger for sure. But I'm gonna put this stuff away and then kind of go over goals that I have. I'm always setting goals for myself, but I need to follow through. So that's the first goal is following through. But let me put this stuff away and then we'll get into the rest of the goal setting. So it's 9:30 p.m. and I'm just now making dinner. I realized I'm nauseous and I have a headache and I keep feeling like I'm gonna pass out because I haven't eaten in hours. I don't even know when I ate last. I think at 2. So it's been 7 hours since I ate and I'm sitting here like, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel like this? Hello. Eat something. So I'm gonna eat now, even though it's late, but I'm really hungry now. I ate a snack. I had those cheese sticks, pepperoni, and then some trail mix, and I started to feel better, but then my body was like, wait a minute, you're really hungry. It's time to make something. So I'm making something. AC unit. I don't have actual AC in the house, so I just have this little unit here. Hopefully it's not too loud. But I did want to take this time to revisit my goals. Because like I said earlier, my toxic trait is that I set a bunch of goals and then never follow through with them. So that's really the overarching goal, is to follow through with my goals and actually get stuff done. Let's revisit my goals. I have my little journal here that I wrote my goals in previously. So I'm just gonna take a look at them, see what they are again, and then we're gonna make a plan to stick with them. It could just be that I'm making too many goals and then I'm just overwhelming myself. So I definitely just wanna pick a couple, work on them, and then we'll just habit stack. So let's take a look at these goals that I set for myself. The first section that I have here is just for the weight loss goals, is to lose 150 pounds. So currently I'm at, I think last time I checked I was 372, and that was after gaining almost 20 pounds. Overall I would like to lose 150 pounds, which would put me at 230, and I think that was the last time that my body really felt good. I didn't have so many body pains. I didn't have so much like weighing down on me. So that was the weight I remember feeling my best at. And I know that was a while ago. I don't know what it's gonna be like now, but that is the goal. But really it's just whenever I feel better, like I feel less pain, I feel less fatigue, and I just feel better in my own skin. I wanted to increase muscle mass, and I have not been going to the gym because of the body pain that I've been having. I have talked about before, but I have a knee injury, and that's been flaring up a lot lately. Even just going on really short walks hurts, just honestly walking throughout the house hurts. So I'm trying to get that under control. So I did cancel my gym membership for now. I want to get a gym membership where there's a pool, because I know aqua fitness is going to be a lot better on my knee. So that's something I'm going to work on, is finding a gym close to me that has a pool, so that way I can either take classes or just go to like the open gym and do my fitness that way. No weightlifting for me, that's just too much. Even just doing upper body hurts, because when my knee starts to hurt, my low back starts to hurt, because it's kind of all connected really. So I'm just kind of taking it easy on the weights now. I have light weights that I'll do sometimes, but for the most part I've just been doing some physical therapy that I was given by my physical therapist, and then really just kind of stretching. I have not been doing much in terms of fitness, so I definitely want to work on that. I put that I want to figure out foods that work. So I do have a nutritionist, and for the most part, I think I figured out what foods work for me, but it's just a matter of honestly following through with eating those foods and not being lazy and being like, oh, I don't feel like cooking, I'm just gonna go pick something up. I have to work on my portion control, which is probably the biggest issue. So I can get the foods that work for me, but then I have to make sure I'm not eating all of it at once or ignoring my hunger cues, because sometimes food is really good and you just want to eat it, but you really shouldn't overstuff yourself to the point where like you're in pain or you can't move. That's a little bit too much. So that's what I need to work on. I also put a section for clothes. I want to fit into the clothes that I have better. So I do have clothes, of course, that fit perfectly fine. They're comfortable to move in. And I have some clothes that even like a year ago fit and were comfortable, but this year I put them on and they technically fit, like I can put them on, zip them, button them, but it's not comfortable to move around in. I put on a pair of jean capris the other day and I was about to go to work in them. I sat down in my car and I was like, it feels like these are about to rip. It feels like if I make the wrong move, these are gonna rip. So I went back inside, changed out of them. I'm gonna keep some clothes that don't fit the best because I did fit in them before. It's really just a matter of really getting my eating under control again, because like I said, I've been kind of lazy with my eating and just making sure I have food prepped. So I think really just getting back into my regular eating routine, that I should be able to get into those clothes pretty soon. For health, I put reduced possibilities of health issues. I have a lot of health issues running throughout my family. High cholesterol, heart disease, stroke, all of those kinds of things that when you are severely overweight like I am, it just kind of gets exacerbated. So I don't want to not do anything, because I know even if you are very healthy, all those things can still happen. But I at least want to put in effort so that way I can say, hey, I tried. If I do end up getting one of those things later, I can say, hey, I ate healthy, I moved my body, but sometimes it just is what it is, unfortunately. I want to reduce the weight on my joints. Again, going back to the injuries that I have, it already hurts, and it's going to hurt more just the more weight is on them. So I just want to reduce the weight on my body so that way I can move a little more freely, and then also I can heal a bit better, because it is a bit harder for your body to heal when you have a lot of weight just constantly on there. So that's also something I want to work on. That's really the biggest reason I'm trying to get back on track, is my body hurts so much. I just know that getting even just a little bit of weight off is going to help a lot. And I also put get enough nutrients. I'm terrible with my sleep. I'm terrible with just feeling fatigue all the time, and I know that also has to do with getting proper nutrients, obviously sleeping better, but I think when you nourish your body properly, everything else kind of falls into place too. Those are the weight loss goals that I have. Let's do some updating with that. So with the lose 150 pounds, like I said, I just want to change it to be a little less broad because 150 pounds is a lot and I don't want to overwhelm myself with that. So I just lose the additional weight that I put on over the course of the last few months and then work from there. And I also don't want to discount anything that I've done so far. So even though I did gain the weight, I should still be proud of myself for losing the 10 pounds because it obviously could have gone in the opposite direction. And I don't want to say to myself, oh man, I don't want to count that because I gained that weight, so I'm just losing the extra weight that I gained. No, it's still progress. It's still an effort that I put in towards a goal and I made progress on it. So I'm trying to be more positive in that regard instead of always pushing myself down, saying, oh, that wasn't good enough. That was a lot more than what I was doing before. So I am making sure that I am keeping a positive mindset and encouraging myself as I go along. For increasing muscle mass, for now, I'm just going to say, like, to do physical therapy and try to reduce my joint pain. For figuring out the foods that work for me, like I said, I pretty much know what works for me at this point. It's just portion control and making sure I set myself up for success each week, because like the last couple of weeks, if I can totally be honest with you, I did not set myself up for success. I didn't even go grocery shopping. I've just been ordering food and like eating whatever scraps I have in the house. So going grocery shopping, making lists so that way I'm not going to the store and just buying whatever, shopping by recipe, so I'm not just buying a bunch of ingredients and then I don't know what to do with the ingredients. And with the last point, I'm being mindful of my hunger cues, because sometimes I do ignore them, but I think it's more of going back to like the mentality of how I got to this point, because especially in Black households, ethnic households, not eating is kind of disrespectful in a way. Like they say, if you keep eating, you're going to be as big as a house. But then if you say, oh no, I'm not really hungry, I don't want any more, they're like, oh, you don't like my food? You don't like my cooking? You don't like me? You don't love me anymore? No, it's not what I said. I was just saying I'm not hungry. Please stop piling food on my plate. So it was just one of those things where it's like, if you don't eat, you're disrespectful. If you do eat, they're gonna tell you you're as big as a house. And then also growing up to actually ignore your hunger cues, because I just know, like, we had to sit at the table and they say you have to eat all your food, you're not leaving this table to eat all your food, and I'd be like, I'm not hungry anymore, like I'm full. They're like, nope, you have to eat all your food. So it's just growing up basically being taught to ignore your own body, and now I have to relearn how to trust my body and not ignore the cues that my body is telling me, like, hey, I'm done, please stop, or you're going to be extremely uncomfortable. So just breaking bad habits that were instilled upon me from a very young age for a very long time. So that's why I've said so many times I need to work on my portion control, work on my hunger cues, because that is really the two biggest things that are contributing to my downfall. Because like, I can eat well, I can exercise, but if I'm not paying attention to how I'm eating, then all that's gonna go down the drain, basically. So all that to say, I just want to pay attention to my hunger cues and be more mindful of my portion sizes. For my clothes, I'm not gonna really make a direct goal. I'm just gonna focus on my eating, and then fitting into the clothes are just gonna come along with that. For health, all that's gonna stay the same. Reduce my possibility of health issues, reduce the weight on my joints as stated, and then getting enough nutrients. So for this week, the habit that I'm working on is just eating the foods that I have, making sure I set myself up for success, make sure I have cooked foods, snacks available, and that I'm not going out to eat, because just these past couple of weeks I have been eating out a lot. Those are my goals revisited. I need to get back on my Zoom because I'm kind of at my breaking point. Honestly, my body just really doesn't feel great, and I'm over it. It's exhausting. I'm exhausted, and I know it just has to do with me not taking the proper care of myself. So I really just want to take the time, rebuild my habits, and get into a good mindset with everything again, so that way I can reach the goals that I constantly make for myself and actually follow through this time. I definitely do want to make sure I'm really taking you on this journey with me. And if you're on a journey, I would love to be a part of that as well. We can kind of be journey buddies. I know I've said that a lot, but I keep, like I said, setting goals and not following through. But like I said, I'm just at my breaking point, especially when I do reach my goals. That's how I said when I reach my goals. Mindset. When I do reach my goals, I want to be able to look back and see how far I've come, because sometimes when we go so far down our journey, we forget where we started, and maybe we feel like we didn't get anywhere. But then if you have the documentation, you can look back and be like, man, look at how far I've come. Let's just be accountability buddies, really. Like I said, I'm gonna try to be better with uploading and sharing my journey, so that I can actually be an accountability buddy. It's hard to be an accountability buddy when you don't check in. So I am going to make it a point to upload at least one video a week, so that way we can kind of just see where we're at, even if it's just a short video, just saying, hey, this is how the week went. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to put so much pressure on myself to make everything like a feature-length film. No one wants to do that anyway. My videos are long because I'm chatty, but I appreciate however much of the video you watched. But I do hope you stick around, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.